We've all been there. It's 3 a.m., the house is silent, the world is dark, but you are wide awake. Maybe it was the wail of a distant siren, the rumble of a passing truck, or the nagging thought of an email you forgot to send. Whatever the cause, the spell has been broken. The seamless velvet curtain of sleep has been torn, and you are left staring into the darkness, wrestling with the frustrating awareness of your own consciousness. For most of us, this is simply one of life's great annoyances, a temporary thief of our rest that we curse before eventually drifting back off. We tally our sleep in hours, and as long as we get close to our 7 or 8 hour quota, we figure we're doing okay. But what if these interruptions are more than just annoyances? What if each rip in the fabric of our sleep, each moment we are jolted from our slumber, unleashes a subtle but insidious process deep within the architecture of our brains? For decades, the public health message has been clear and simple. Get enough hours of sleep. The focus has been on quantity. A groundbreaking study from early 2025, however, suggests we may have been looking at the wrong metric all along. This research, published in the journal Science, presents a chilling and persuasive case that the true guardian of our long-term brain health is not the duration of our sleep, but its continuity. It uncovers a specific biological mechanism that links broken, fragmented sleep directly to the progression of Alzheimer's disease, forcing us to confront a radical new idea. An uninterrupted 6-hour night might be profoundly more protective for your brain than a broken 8-hour one. The brain's nightly cleanup. To grasp the significance of this discovery, we first need to understand the established role of sleep in maintaining a healthy brain. For years, scientists have described sleep as the brain's essential housekeeping service. While we rest, a remarkable system called the glymphatic system kicks into high gear. Think of it as a network of microscopic types that flush cerebrospinal fluid through our brain tissue, washing away the metabolic waste products that accumulate during our waking hours. Two of these waste products are the primary villains in the devastating story of Alzheimer's disease: beta-amyloid and tau. Beta-amyloid is a sticky protein that, when not cleared effectively, clumps together to form the infamous plaques that clog the spaces between our brain cells. Tau, on the other hand, is a protein that normally helps stabilize the internal structure of our neurons. In Alzheimer's, tau misfolds and aggregates inside the neurons, creating toxic tangles that choke the cells from within, causing them to die. The long-held belief was that a lack of sleep, not getting enough hours, impaired this cleanup crew. The pipes couldn't flush properly, allowing the toxic gunk to build up night after night, year after year. This model was simple, intuitive, and placed all the emphasis on the total amount of time the crew was on the clock. It was a story about quantity. But the researchers at Stanford University Center for Sleep Sciences and Medicine noticed that this didn't fully explain the picture. They suspected a more subtle culprit was at play, leading them to ask a pivotal question. What is worse for the brain? Having the cleanup crew work a shorter shift, or having them work a full shift while being constantly interrupted? The experiment pitting quantity against quality. To answer this, the researchers designed an elegant experiment with mice genetically engineered to develop the tau pathology seen in Alzheimer's disease. They divided the mice into different groups. One group was allowed to sleep for a normal, consolidated period. Another group was subjected to short sleep, where their total sleep time was reduced, but the sleep they did get was uninterrupted. The final crucial group was subjected to fragmented sleep. These mice were allowed a full window for rest, but they were frequently woken up by a gentle, automated sweep that would rouse them for a few moments before they fell back asleep. The setup was designed to mimic real-world scenarios. The short-sleep mice were like people who intentionally burn the candle at both ends, while the fragmented sleep mice were like those with untreated sleep apnea or people who sleep in a noisy environment or are constantly awakened by their partner's snoring. The question was simple: whose brains would show a faster spread of the toxic tau tangles? The results were nothing short of a bombshell. The mice with fragmented sleep showed a dramatically accelerated spread of toxic tau throughout their brains, far surpassing the damage seen in the mice who simply slept for fewer hours. The conclusion was stark and undeniable. A broken night is a far more dangerous night. The quality and continuity of sleep were overwhelmingly more important than the sheer quantity. The constant interruptions were not just pausing the brain's housekeeping service, they were actually helping the disease to advance. The mystery then became how? Unmasking the criminal, how fragmentation spreads the poison. The most groundbreaking part of the study was its discovery of the precise mechanism behind this damage. The researchers found that the destructive process happens during the brief moments of awakening. When a sleeping brain is suddenly roused, its neurons are forced to fire up in patterns that are almost identical to those of a fully awake, active brain. The researchers termed this awake-like neural activity. To understand why this is so catastrophic, let's use an analogy. Imagine the brain is a high-security prison complex, and each neuron is a cell holding a dangerous inmate. During deep consolidated sleep, all the cell doors are securely locked. The inmates are contained. The prison is quiet and orderly, allowing the maintenance crews to go about their business of cleaning the corridors. Now, imagine what happens during a night of fragmented sleep. Each interruption acts like a sudden prison-wide security alert. For a brief moment, all the cell doors are unlocked and flung open as the guards, the neurons, scramble to respond to the alarm. In that moment of chaos, the dangerous inmates have a chance to slip out of their cells and move down the corridor, breaking into the next cell and corrupting its inhabitant. Then the alarm passes, the doors lock again, and a false sense of security returns until the next interruption triggers another breakout. This is precisely what the study found. Each micro-awakening, with its corresponding burst of awake-like neural activity, creates the perfect metabolic environment for toxic tau to be released from one neuron and taken up by its neighbors. This process, known as tau propagation, is how the disease spreads like a slow-motion fire through the brain, moving from one region to the next. The constant starting and stopping doesn't just prevent the cleanup, it actively facilitates the crime. It turns your own brain activity against you, using the very process of waking to ferry the poison from one cell to the next. From the lab to the bedroom, the human connection. This discovery has profound and immediate implications for all of us. It reframes common sleep disruptions from mere annoyances into significant long-term health risks. Consider someone with untreated sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during the night. These individuals can experience hundreds of micro-awakenings per hour. According to this research, each of those arousals is potentially an event that facilitates the spread of neurotoxic proteins. It provides a powerful biological explanation for why sleep apnea is so strongly linked to cognitive decline and dementia. But the implications extend far beyond diagnosed sleep disorders. What about the seemingly minor interruptions that plague modern life? The partner who snores, the rumble of early morning garbage trucks, the cat that jumps on the bed at 4 a.m., the faint blue light of a notification flashing on your phone. Each of these has the potential to fragment our sleep, to trigger that awake-like neural activity, and to open the door for tau to spread. Viewed through the lens of this study, a noisy bedroom is not just a nuisance, it's a potential neurological hazard. The decision to scroll on your phone in bed is not just a bad habit, it's an invitation for low-grade, chronic sleep fragmentation. Over a single night, the effect is negligible, but compounded over the thousands of nights that make up a lifetime, this cumulative burden of broken sleep could be a critical factor in determining our brain's resilience to age-related diseases. The unbroken night, our new health imperative. This research fundamentally changes our definition of a good night's sleep. The goal is no longer simply to hit a target of 7, 8, or 9 hours. The new, more sophisticated goal is to achieve the most consolidated, uninterrupted sleep possible. The mission is to protect the continuity of the night. This shifts our focus from a purely quantitative goal to a qualitative one. It empowers us to think differently about our sleep environment and habits. It means declaring war on interruptions. It means investing in blackout curtains and a white noise machine is not an indulgence, but a form of preventative medicine. It means having a serious conversation with a snoring partner about seeking treatment. It means banishing all light-emitting electronics from the bedroom with a new sense of urgency. The findings from the study are sobering, but they are also incredibly empowering. They replace a vague fear of poor sleep is bad for you with a specific, actionable target. We now know that the unbroken night is a fortress for the brain. By defending its walls, by silencing the alarms and locking the gates, we are not just investing in feeling more refreshed and focused the next day. We are engaging in a proactive, nightly act of neurological self-defense. We are giving our brain's cleanup crew the quiet, uninterrupted shift it needs to not only clear out the day's garbage, but to keep the most dangerous inmates locked firmly away, protecting the integrity of our minds for all the days to come.